To my bro, No In on the God Zone. And I know you didn't want to do this through a video, but I done tried writing it a couple times, and I'm trying to keep away from the spirit thing that's causing troubles between you and I. Whether it be on my part or yours is yet to be seen, but we probably will see it. I've also made 3 videos and I've whacked them all out because I keep getting sidetracked in the thought process. You say in your video, not the top part, the bottom part, I wish for you to know that I don't look at the King James Version as God. I wish for you to know that it's very much how I was perceiving the things that you were saying. That you do somehow uphold the King James Version right up there next to God, as in saying the two are the same. Now that's what I was getting from our interaction. Was that what you were saying? Maybe not. But that's what was making to my head, okay? Because you know, when you say we got to take this whole of this word, and then because you know somebody, I think Solomon, I believe, wrote this in Proverbs, you know, hundreds of years before King James was ever even born, or the King James Version was ever put together, and to look at the King James Version and say that's what God was talking about, to me, that's a slippery slope. And you said that would be pretty damn dumb. I never thought of you as pretty damn dumb. You say, I believe cover to cover it's the best version of God's preserved word that He intended for His testimony to man. Okay, I hear what you're saying, and that ain't the way I see it. I see the best version of God's preserved word is in that church I'm talking about at the basement of the Pope's house. He got all those writings, all the original ones. You know, God talks to people, man. He did then, He does today, He always will. He talks to their hearts, and He tells them to write things down. He tells them to do things. God interacts with people very much. And God interacted with those guys back then that wrote those original scrolls. He said, hey, write this down. This is going to be our testament. This is going to be our witnesses. This is how people's going to know who I am. And all those original writings are in the basements of churches. They're in colleges. They're seem like everywhere that, you know, everywhere but where they need to be. Now we got a bunch of sun-worshiping popes and Catholics who translate these this so-called into the so-called Word of God, the New King James Testament, and now all of a sudden we want to put this thing right up next to God and say this thing is just as important as God. And to me, I think that's a dangerous, slippery slope, because they aren't the original writings, and they are translations. So, but I mean, I see the beauty in the book, as you see, and I get the same feeling, you know, when we read the book. I see the codes, how it works through there. I see how the whole thing is genius, and I see how the whole thing definitely is controlled by God. But does that mean that everything in there, you know, if there's something that's wrong, maybe it was meant to be wrong, so that we can get a truth out of it? Think about what I just said. Maybe something is wrong in that book, so that we can derive to a truth of it. That's what I mean by God's sword cutting both ways. So anyway, bro, I chose to try to talk to you because I think too much gets lost in type on the internet. And someday I would love to talk with you on the phone. You know, I'll finish this video with this. I wish we all could get along better, but sometimes it just ain't meant to be. You know, sometimes we just have things we feel we have to uphold, and then I understand that, but at the same time I hope you understand I'm not angry or disillusioned with you. I appreciate our friendship, as I do everybody's friendship on this board. I appreciate all the things that we've learned and discussed about spiritually. So I want you to know that I'm not angry, okay, and I'm not trying to have this wall between us when it comes to this topic. But sometimes, hey, that's just how it's got to be. So okay, bro, I'm hitting the sack. So peace out, people of Earth.